Hello, I'm Kelley Flodder. I'm a special education teacher from Sycamore Community Schools in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I did a collaboration with Celia Schloemer from Children's Cincinnati. We partnered together for a pilot program across the Sycamore Community School District with families and teachers to discover together the power of charting the life course. This has led to significant changes throughout the school district, and the tools are being used in every building of our district. I will share the strategic yet simple process we use throughout one school district and how that is causing a shift in this area. The pilot included meetings with teachers and families separately to ensure comfort and experience at an individual pace and grew into collaborative meetings. When I was trained years ago, I became overwhelmed and just kind of looked at things for a while and didn't get started. And then when I finally did get started, after a few months, I chose the trajectory and I chose one family. And from there, in my classroom, I have grown from doing one trajectory with one family to using it as my curriculum and basing it with all of my families. And so I wanted to give that opportunity to other teachers and professionals in families. So we started with teachers that were excited and interested, and we had them choose one family, and I'll go through how that process worked. So we started in the very beginning, we took people that wanted to learn. Being in education for almost 20 years, I've learned that if we tell teachers this is the way we have to do it, sometimes we get resistance, but if we ask for volunteers and excitement and people that want to be interested, we start from the grassroots and really get people interested and start talking about what could be. And so we asked for volunteers of people that were interested and excited about learning new ways of doing transition. And so we got a pilot group we started with 15 teachers. And the first pilot consisted of a meeting and sharing tools with teachers with a strong emphasis on the trajectory. Teachers had a few weeks to work the trajectory on their own and can reconvene to share their feedback. We discussed how teachers or any other stakeholder experiencing this vulnerability first was essential in sharing this with families. We wanted to make sure they understood the vulnerability that this could mean for families. Our schools start in August, so we gave teachers a month to just be back at school. And then we moved into our meetings in September, and their homework after that first meeting was one, to try to be comfortable with the trajectory, complete a trajectory for themselves, either personally or professionally, reflect on the process and kind of have some ideas to bring to the next meeting. And then optional ideas were to try the trajectory with a family member, a friend, or a colleague. They were then instructed to think about what family they would like to partner with to do this process. By October, they were supposed to pick a family that they would do this process with. And in total, there were 2 family meetings with teachers. And so they called families to make sure the families were comfortable with trying the trajectory with them and working through this process, and then coming to parent meetings. So they called those families, asked their permission and invited them into this process. And those families that they were invited and really wanted to do it came in the end of October, beginning of November for their first meeting. That is when families were kind of taught the same information that we taught the teachers at the beginning. Celia and I both presented to the families. And that meeting was to share with parents across the district to support families in a comfortable environment without teachers. We did not have the teachers there. So some of the feedback we heard were, thank you so much. We can't believe you're doing this for our families. They were anxious. One grandma was raising her daughter's child, and was anxious about it. And then families started to share resources with each other. So even that first meeting, we saw growth. So we reconvened with teachers to discuss their experiences with the trajectory. One woman did a trajectory on their lives with kids, and then empty nest, what their good life would be after the children had left. And one admitted that it was too hard to do emotionally, personally, so they chose to do it professionally. This was really an awakening to see how difficult this trajectory can be, and before we asked families to do it and students to do it. So together we completed a trajectory as a pilot group of teachers, saying what we wanted and what we didn't want from this pilot. And people were very excited about moving forward with the Good Life. We also shared at this point the life stage packets because we wanted teachers to have more information if they were interested in working on more aspects of the Charting the Life course. So our culminating experience was in January, which was amazing. The teachers were expected to, in that process between November and January, to complete a trajectory with the student, one-on-one with them, and then to complete a trajectory about the student with each family member. Now we had kindergarten through age 22 in this pilot. So it was an incredible, or I'm sorry, preschool through 22. So it was a incredible in all the buildings. So they completed those trajectories and we got to meet back with families. So our meeting together in January was with families and teachers. That was our first meeting totally together. Families and teachers worked together and they shared what it was like exploring the trajectory together, and they shared the different experiences that they had. So a lot of the feedback we received, one family shared that their mindset had completely changed on how they approach problems with their child. A teacher shared that she changed completely how she thinks about writing IEPs and in alignment with trajectories. We heard from families that my son's future is much less scary. There was a play date planned for one young girl that the mom had never thought about doing a play date, but after doing the trajectory realized that that was her daughter's good life. Overall, we had a tremendous amount of success with this. We think starting small and getting bigger was a really good way to start this. And we are looking forward to continuing this work in the future. And I would just like you to think about if there's the possibility of starting a small pilot or starting a few of these steps with a group that you work with, and what that could look like within your organization. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to some more Charting the Life course.